Thanks to Steve and to Ella and the Polish Cultural Institute and our wonderful co-performers for tonight. This has a bit of an intro, but not a long one. Ella and I actually met in Poland 20 years ago when we were both living there, and we began this collaboration by thinking about the concept of false friends, words in another language that resemble those in one's own language but have different meanings. So one example might be chef in Polish, which means boss, but sounds like English chef. We got interested quite quickly not only in false friends in Polish or in English, but also Danish, which is a language Ella has been trying to live in for the last 5 years since she moved to Copenhagen, and one of which I have no knowledge whatsoever. We decided to settle on Denmark as a kind of halfway point between England and Poland, and focused our interest on the Øresund, which is the body of water between Sweden and Denmark. Ella has been researching this territory and sent me weekly bilingual reports from the Danish Maritime Authority, which issue warnings on changes to sea traffic in the area, which I used as material for my contributions.
And I should probably mention two people who are behind my words. The first of them is Pedro Nunes, a Portuguese Jew, who was also a mathematician and a cosmographer. He worked in the 16th century, and he was the first man who realized that actually when you navigate along the shortest route, which is called a great circle, you end up following a spiral, a loxodrome, unless you keep readjusting your bearing. And he recommended that you do it every hour. And the second person is the French physicist and engineer Augustin Jean Fresnel. He invented a multifocal lens, which basically captures rays from a single light source and thus amplifies it. Because of his invention, the visibility of lighthouses increased from 30% to 90%. And it also allowed like a proper signature lighting to distinguish lighthouses. Kullen Lighthouse, which marks the border, the northern border of Øresund, actually has a Fresnel.
Soundings.
Follow a rum line. Below a skip, ship, static, charge the waves static in their engraved noisy roll. On the oblique chance that the hatchings draw two extremes of our voyage into the most direct route, that is, a great circle. Is it a circular argument to claim a circle that is great misnames the shortest straight line? The curved blade of our doubt is peeling the northern hemisphere, unlike this green apple, along a loxodrome that spirals around the pole of our resolution into infinite tighter and tighter turns.
Voyage in place. Voyage unlit. Voyage not in place. Light unlit. What the actual means is metafactual, counterfactual. What did you see out there on the sea?
And the usefulness, you say, a great circle provides?
Circles at sea, buoys, parallels, lifebelts, meridians, light discs unlit by the moon in the dark, grid of the mirrored portolan.
Should I ask the sea to show them to me? The sea will tell me that the sea is everywhere and everywhere the same, and cannot itself show me any of them. And I say the futile, vanity of a man who wishes to travel at sea without turning. Therefore, it is only on the chart that I can seek them.
Bearings, counter bearings, perpendicular, changing course from hour to hour, acute angles on the current. The Teed is out on time. You meet your adversel without warning. Moon unlit, they on the merry at those belts, bars for deck-girt positions, Porto Labs, yellow bars, the have-been boys, boy moon boys, the boy top mark, the bean life. Diana's around their buoyed moon has positions like moon belts, like the wreck boy, buoyed with top marks. Their belts at positions 1 and 2 have been removed. Their belts around the wreck have been removed.
What does it take not to erase 45.5 kilometers of the white shaft, the light that probes distress of sediments constricted to the saline strait? Tight dilemma, Latin strictus. Its resuspension cycle in your ear, Danish as you dredge dark, azure and light blue to reach confused Danish down grey mud, sandy mud and gravel, Danish toward the bedrock of the sound, this healthy source of oxygen and vowels for cod and otter, Latin lutra, lutra.
Dredge, hasher, bedrock sound, in bean sounds, wreck sound, forket bringers my equipment, depth has new field. The sounds reported a practice wreck, new with magnetic firing, with large befiring set at affected time. The buoyed bringers dredge practice at yellow equipment wreck. Is wreck affected? Buoyage is to be deployed. A depth has been reported.
Revolve on the hinge of why. Fear, loose. Fear, loose. Why does your tongue blunt this signal fire in the Danish crescent? Like a Fresnel, collect dispersed light into a barrel of lenses to redirect it. A single horizontal beam, a signature combination of flash rate and color, your interlingual beacon.
The plurilingual beckons into the fire. Beacon fears the slight light that lies between false friends and true. The voyage still has light in the ear sound, paying the sound dues, playing the straight duels. Bridge over sounded waters, a rake-on, raking over the sea where piling has been reclaimed. The work does not affect the passage span of the bridge.
What does it take to absorb more photons? Their electric charge on the optic disc, the ellipse dock in your eyeball for vessels of blood and nerve fibers. Here the capillaries are moored into a singular pattern, your retinal ID, impossible to scan in strong light without your consent. Will you let LED light through the double surface mirror pinhole beam splitter into Fresnel lens? Optical scanner will rotate and read a ring on your cornea.
How many circles can you see?
Reflected back from your retina, the beam will sail on the same run.
And the usefulness, you say, a small circle provides?
Photodetector will turn this signal into points.
Not to be pin-pointed. Resolve, noble, resonant. Incidental, indentation, grating. Fear haven luket for besailing through geotechnical drillings. Less depths, skovshabbet, voyage reducer et boringa, mindra dibda, reduced vertical clearance for the vessels Vina and Naya. Für Urde af drift, oversight, oversicht, over forsvaretskide platzer, oprensening, aeroscoping. The foundation at the above-mentioned position has been removed and the light has been discontinued. Merla hervida renoverus van gravida, rendered till Horsens haven.
This coastline is geometrically aligned. Insert the accompanying block plan to extend the associated depth contour. Beacon words beckon to the familiar.
Sea,
Shores where home languages.
sea,
Hone the green of matted sea glass,
morja,
upturned by the foreign surf.
morja.